Herr Kommissar Reynders, Sie haben das Wort.
Vielen Dank. Monsieur le Président, Mesdames et Messieurs les députés, je voudrais d'abord vous remercier pour ce débat au cours duquel vous avez l'occasion de soulever un certain nombre de questions importantes. En entendant vos demandes aux États membres et au Conseil, je m'étonne des informations me précisant que le Conseil n'a pas été invité pour ce débat. La Commission a toujours été très claire sur le fait que toute tentative des autorités nationales d'accéder illégalement aux données des citoyens, y compris des journalistes et des opposants politiques, est inacceptable si elle est confirmée. Concernant le comportement de la Commission, je veux rappeler que, pour ma part, j'ai eu l'occasion de répondre à plusieurs invitations de votre Commission, mais j'ai également soulevé le problème de l'utilisation de Pegasus en Espagne ou de Predator en Grèce, par exemple, lors de mes visites sur place et de mes rencontres avec les gouvernements. J'ai initié également une demande d'information auprès des États membres, puisque les États membres doivent superviser et contrôler leurs services de sécurité afin de s'assurer qu'ils respectent pleinement les droits fondamentaux, en ce compris la protection des données à caractère personnel, la sécurité des journalistes et la liberté d'expression. The Commission sent letters to all the Member States about the legal framework governing the use of spyware in order to examine the interplay with EU data protection law. We asked a series of questions, including the purposes under which spyware is permitted, for law enforcement purposes, for national security or other purposes, the relevant safeguards that are applicable when a spyware is used for law enforcement and for national security purposes, with full respect for the principles of proportionality and necessity. It is not a straightforward exercise, given the diversity of the response received. It also requires putting Member States' responses in the context of their relevant national framework. We continue to analyse the responses based on the report and recommendation of the Pegasus Committee, as well as our own fact-gathering exercise. The Commission will decide on the most appropriate way forward to better protect the citizens. Thank you.
Danke, und wir beenden die Aussprache mit der Berichterstatterin, Frau Sophia in T VELD.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, colleagues, for this debate. We have often referred to this scandal as Watergate, the European or Greek or Spanish or Hungarian equivalent of Watergate. Actually, it isn't. It's like this movie called The Lives of Others, which is about the former Eastern European Stasi spying on its citizens, a repressive regime. That is what this is about. And colleagues, do we actually learn from history, or are we doomed to make the same mistakes over and over again? Do we close our eyes and ears until it's too late, and then we have to start all over again with rebuilding democracy? Because we are not immune to authoritarian tendencies simply because we're European. We have to fight for it. And here, Commissioner, I would like to appeal to you. The European Union has to act, and it has to give itself the powers to act, because quite frankly, relying on national authorities for upholding the law, when those very same national authorities are the actual perpetrators, makes absolutely no sense. You know, thank you. I got a bit choked up here. The thing is that you very often put the burden on the shoulders of the individual, saying, yeah, but people, you know, victims can go to court. But then you're putting the burden on the individual, the burden of upholding EU laws. That is not a replacement for enforcement by the EU Commission and the other EU bodies. Then, on national security. National security is very important, but it has become a blanket exemption to the democratic rule of law. It is very important that we get a clear demarcation, whether it is a unified European definition or the obligation for member states to define, but there has to be a definition of national security. Commissioner, this is a full-blown democratic crisis, and therefore we need a crisis response, not a technocratic, legalistic and timid reaction. We need to act as we did in the other crises, as I have said before. Because, Commissioner, this is my last sentence, Chair, not 1,000 democracy action plans can save our democracy if we just stand by and watch how it is being destroyed. There is a broad majority for the recommendations. Please, Commissioner, act on this with all the strength that you have. Thank you.
Danke, Frau Berichterstatterin. Die gemeinsame Aussprache ist damit geschlossen. Die Abstimmung findet morgen statt.